Welcome back to Squawk Box. OPEC securing a record oil production cut by 9.7 million barrels per day for the next 2 months. This is an effort to stem a price plunge during the coronavirus pandemic and that dispute between Russia and Saudi Arabia. Here with more on what this deal means for the U.S., joining us right now on the phone this morning is Senator Dan Sullivan from Alaska. We appreciate you joining us, Senator. Thanks for getting on the phone with us.
Good morning, Andrew. Good to be back on the show. Thanks.
Thank you for coming on. In terms of what you think this is going to do for jobs in your state, what do you think the impact is going to be, and what do you think it's going to really be on the impact of the price of oil going forward?
Well, look, I think it's an important agreement, and I want to do a shout out particularly to President Trump and his team. You know, there's been a number of senators who've been working in support. We had a 2-hour-long conference call with the Saudi energy minister on Saturday, but it was the president, particularly working the phones over the last several days, who brought this together. So, look, I think the most important thing immediately is it ends the price war that's been going on. It's going to reduce pressure on prices. And to your question, you know, I think hopefully it's going to stem the job losses, which have been massive in Alaska. I mean, ConocoPhillips recently announced laying down almost all its exploration rigs in our state, hundreds, if not thousands of jobs. So it's good news, but the implementation, of course, is going to be the key.
And then the other question is, how long do you think that this lasts? And what do you think this means in terms of the relationship between Russia and Saudi and the U.S. going forward as this pandemic and whatever else you think is going to be taking place over the next several months continues?
Well, look, on its face, it's a 2-year deal, and it is historic if you look at the numbers. The Saudis, which in many ways started this price route that started right when the pandemic hit, are committed to going from 12.3 million barrels to 8.5 million, actually a little under 8.5 million. That's the lowest level since 2011. So that's going to be important. The energy minister told us, there was 13 senators on a call with him on Saturday, that they're willing to do more if they need to. As you know, a lot of this is demand destruction, not necessarily the supply shock. But the supply shock, particularly from the Saudis, started this major decline. And look, one of the things that we said with the energy minister, letter to the Crown Prince, is you are now taking actions that are directly hurting our constituents by the thousands, if not tens of thousands, and we're going to reevaluate the importance of the U.S.-Saudi strategic relationship, including whether we should keep troops in there to protect your country. So we're still going to evaluate that, but I think for now this is an important first step. Again, actions will speak louder than words, though, on the implementation.
Do you know what the average price of WTI has to be in the state of Alaska for most projects there to continue?
You know, Alaska was having a real renaissance, Andrew. You know, we probably have the hottest, most prolific energy play going on in the world. Independent energy companies, some of the big ones like Exxon, Conoco, are finding new, huge discoveries, conventional discoveries of over 1 billion barrels of oil. These are, again, some of the most prolific exploration results anywhere on the planet, and it's next to existing infrastructure. The Trans-Alaska Pipeline, as you know, is 2/3 empty. So it's expensive to do exploration in Alaska, but you pretty much find a lot of oil. So the numbers where we're at right now obviously are really negatively impacting our workforce. And by the way, these are great jobs in Alaska throughout the country. So I don't know exactly what the price is, but, you know, we've been through these difficult times before. What we really needed, though, was an end to this price war and the stability that would bring. And that's why this announcement is important. But again, we're going to watch the implementation very closely.
Right. And Senator, before I let you go, We talk about demand destruction. That's in large part because, much of this country and around the world is staying at home or in some form of quarantine. And we imagine this may start to happen in South America as well. I'm curious what your timeline, just for the United States, looks like. The way you're thinking about it.
Back to real quick, Andrew, on the energy side. One thing that is another important aspect of this deal and this sector, I'm sure you and Joe and Becky remember 2008, 2009, when we came out of the recession, the sector that really drove the recovery in the United States was the energy sector. Estimates of upwards of half the GDP gains in our country came from the resurgence of a strong energy sector. We're going to need that strong energy sector to get us moving again here. Look, as the president said, it's going to be a very tough call on restarting the economy. It's obviously going to be driven by data, the combination of the health issues. Testing is going to be key, massive testing. And then, the guidance from the federal government is going to be important. But as you know, we're a big country. It's probably going to be more mayors and governors who are going to be making calls in different parts of our nation as we look to restart our economy, open society, which is going to be really, really important for the economic and health of Americans.
Right. Senator, we appreciate you joining us. As always, we wish the state of Alaska and the energy world as much luck as all of us can have during this pandemic. Appreciate it much.